What's going on, y'all? Yeah, yeah, I got something for y'all today. Just a morning check-in, and I'm gonna talk about a little something. I got this right here. I want to talk about these microphones I got. This is a condenser, what you see right here, and this is the thread adapter that goes with it. And you see the polar patterns. I don't know if y'all can get that. You see the different four polar patterns right here. You see the stereo on this side, and that's oh, it's on figure eight. Hold on, let me go back. When you get this, you'll see the one that looks like a heart shape. It's called cardioid. That's the podcasting feature. Now, the one that's circle, when they use on the other USBs like the Yetis, they use the circle like omnidirectional. They think that's podcast. No, it's not. That's in the meeting room. Stereo's like right to left here. And figure eight is like what you see with ribbon mics back in the day. It's front to back. You can hear from the back and the front. But the cardioid is strictly to the front. So this is my first standard mic since August the 3rd of 2021, 2021, right? I would say like that was my first microphone I ever used on content progression. Got a lot of views off of this. Before I was using headsets, not these headsets. I was using these headsets. I'll say I got these around the summer, but I had the smaller headsets. I had the smaller heydays. Had them for 2 years, different types of heydays, and I got tired of them. I wanted something like this to talk into doing content like a studio like that. Eventually, I wanted these, and once I saw this in the store, I know what these microphones were. I got into it, learned about polar patterns, and did reviews. And I could have had that big boy Samsung. Could have had that big boy Samsung G Track. That's a whole interface, three polar patterns and things like that. When I was looking at that, I said to myself, that's the whole thing. When I got this boy in August, it's gonna be a year in August when I had this. I don't use it no more. I use it for pre-records and panels and things like that. But this thing right here took a life. My first stream was open chat. When I had this microphone, and it has a mute function. If you look at it right there, that's the mute button. You don't even have to use it on stream. You can just mute that, and that's it. Unless you gotta mute the mic on the stream yards to go away and step away for a bit, and then your mic's muted. You know what I'm saying? But the gain knob you see on here, this is a gain knob. It has like it goes all the way over here, I believe, and then it goes further around to make it quiet. So always use the two knob when you hear it. I don't think y'all can see that, but yeah, that right here is my HyperX Quadcast. This is the red one. I didn't get the one with the S. That's Windows app. You got to download the Windows app if you have Google Chrome or anything, and you get the RGB colors and shit. It's a condenser. It's one of those loud, echoey mics that picks up a little noise. This is kind of quiet when you put your gain knob down. So a condenser is very sensitive. It's a sensitive microphone because you hear a lot of background noise. That's the drawback with a condenser. Now, some condensers are customized where you can use XLRs to cut out noise, like the ones they use, like the Neumanns. This one's like a USB. This is my first one. So you see the USB A right there. That was my mic progression. I had this for months and months, and they used it. I still use it for pre-records and panels. My next mic, I upgrade to that mic to this mic, what you hear now. Now this thing is dynamic. This is a Fifine. Similar to the Quadcast, it has a shock mount. And you see the back of this thing, you see the USB-C now and the headphone monitoring. That's what I'll be using. So I use the studio headphones from Samsung with this, and sometimes the Sony's with the noise rejection, the cancellation. I mean, but once I have that, that's it. But this thing right here, comes off. I'll show you what it looks like when it's off. Because a lot of people don't know. I use this mic. This is the Fifine K658. The price with the HyperX is actually $140. It costs $139. That's the actual price, but it went down last year to like 80 some dollars to 90. Was my standard mic for a while. But I got two XLR Dynamics mics too. That's a combo, like the Q2U and the Samsung. The reason I didn't bring those out, it's just no need to talk about. Y'all know those because I use those as well. I got different microphones and shit. It's my small collection. I'll show you what this looked like. It comes with this filter, right? You can use the 7B, like the ones they use in studios, to fit this. I found that out. And this thing can have another ring without this little shot mount. Some white guy from Obscure Mike said that. It's a certain microphone mount. But this is what it comes off. That's what it looks like when you screw it off. Now, this right here, what you're looking at, that's what it looks like in the grill when you talk into a board. This thing comes off as well. This part right here comes off as well. So it looks like a different microphone. So it's protected. It's got the black thing like a windscreen inside it, protecting it. I'll get it right here. And it's protected. You can see it right here. You talk through the top address. That's dynamic. And then you can see the volume. I always turn my volume when I do the historical stuff in the Wednesday site like this. I give you an example, something like that. Yeah, like in that range. And you can turn it all the way up too, and it's no clipping. It's a good microphone. It's actually one of the best USB dynamic mics on the market, but it's like it costs 120. It's 110 in Canada, 119 in the US. I got this from the company. It's called Fifine. Some people pronounce it Fifine, but it's Fifine. That's my dynamics and stuff. A lot of people don't care. It's my mic progression and shit like that. I'm gonna show y'all something real quick. That's what this thing looks like. So this thing goes around. You see this? And that's what I use. And here's the threading of the yoke mount. You can put this on any stand like the Gator stand and things like that. A lot of people don't like this mic as much. Some people do, some people don't. I don't give a damn. Fuck them. I use this as my standard. But the RGB lighting on the back of this thing, you can turn this shit off. You can turn this shit off. That's a good feature. You can't change the colors, but I already got a mic that's like that. So it's no need to get another Quadcast with RGB light. So I always get the red one. I stick to what I got. This is my mic for my now Tuesday streams. It used to be my Independent Thinker series. I use this mic. I use from the Wednesday streams. I always do my content. And then I also use this for Thursday Thrills. That's it. I've used it on Sunday Madness one time when I was trying to get another mic, a dynamic. So basically I got this mic. This is good for a startup. If you want to go to the dynamic route or USB, you know, it's for those guys in the space that don't have microphones. This right here is good progression. That's tech for y'all. And this right here is a good startup. If you don't want to go dynamic, if you want to go, this is $139 expensive than this one. This is like 120. This is like 140. I paid 150 for this in cash. It was 139 full price. I paid the full price, but you know, most people don't like that. They like to say you flexing. I don't give a damn. Fuck them. We're talking about gear progression. So let's go walk around a little bit. I know niggas is pissed off, but fuck them. Yeah. The two mics I got, as you can tell, I still use them. But it's okay to have a microphone doing your content. A lot of times people be on that bullshit. But when you're dealing with microphones like me, I I use these by laptop. I got away from the cell phone thing because I'm trying to work on getting a lavalier to talk to y'all on the cell phone as well. There's some good labs and things that you can hook it up to your phone and things like that, but it's not easy because I was trying to eliminate background noise and things like that. But you can use a shotgun if you're outside. It's a lot of options. Some people rather have the headset. I'm not a fan of headsets. Days is over. See, I had to disagree with Alonzo. Nobody's manosphere when they have these. It's not true. Most of them use headsets. They think that's manosphere. Technically, it's not. They say Kevin Samuels used microphones and gear. That's not true. He started out with a Rode Podcaster, a USB mic. That was his first mic before he got XLR. Good morning, Ronan. And I know people hate this gear talk, but I got to talk about it. Not everybody uses the microphone. Not everybody. I don't care what nobody says because that's the progression that you get. I could have showed the XLRs. Could have brought them out. I said, nah, I still need. I already showed them cammed up before. Might do another one. It's a good brand and things like that. But if you want to start up and just have something simple, that's like this right here I'm showing you in the red is 140 range, 139, 140 range. You can pay 150 in cash for this. Same with this. But they don't have this in the store. You can order this at Amazon. This Fifine right here. You can order that from Amazon. That's a dynamic. The black one, that's a dynamic version of that. The red one's a condenser, sensitive, very sensitive. I had moments I heard a few background noise on my recordings. I was using the Quadcast for a while. I was collecting a lot of condensers that had software features, and some of them just plug and play. Then I have the black one. They try to say this is plug and play. It is, but it's also a good mic for if you use StreamYards and posts. It's good for recording. You can use it for recording. I've used it for recording a few times. It's not bad. Certain headphones work. All of them work damn near. So it does block a lot of noise. The black one does. That's what Dynamic does. It blocks all the sounds. It's very forgiving. But the red one, not so much. You hear a lot of background noise. That's why you got to rely on your gain and your monitoring feature of the headphones. But it doesn't have the low latency. So yeah, when people don't like these conversations, start your little mini podcast. You start up with these. So people go straight for the gusto. That ain't how you start it, really. You gotta learn proper shit first. XLR stuff is cool. Don't get me wrong. But if you buying interfaces and shit like that, they're usually expensive. There's some cheaper ones out there too. They gotta be compatible with certain computers. I'm looking at one right now, and they're cool. But people gotta have that mic. I think DS1's got one that popular mic. It's cool, but my advice: everybody should not have that mic. I mean, that's for certain people. I would say DS1. He got the money. That's for him. That's good that he got that. Everybody else don't have that mic in the space like that. That's not a trend we should be pushing. We should be pushing these type of mics, startups. That gets you going, and then you work your way up to those XLR mics. It's a lot of good XLR mics besides that mic. That mic's overrated. It's kind of like the Yeti at this point. I'm tired of looking at that mic because every time I see it on YouTube, I say, why are they keep posting this mic? And it's got a lot of problems. That's a quiet microphone. You don't need a fed head and a cloud lifted. No, you just need a better interface. It's for different roles. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that mic. It's good for its purpose. I wouldn't use it as a startup mic. You can have multiple mics as you want. Use them for different purposes. Some people use it for good posts, but if you have a good interface or a pro interface or a mixer, that thing can work. You just got to turn the gain the right size. Not all of them have the 60 dB. They say gain, but gain's not the issue. It's how you post-process the microphone. And a heli mic before this one. Yeah, I got one. I got the Yeti. My first Yeti was a Nano. I got the red Onyx. I threw the black one late. I had a black one first, the all blackout Nano, but it was faulty. I had to throw that bitch away. But the red Onyx, I kept that one. That ain't faulty. I can tweak that. But the Yeti Pro, I got that one as well. It's got an XLR port as well. So it does have USB. So I got all the essential mics. I could have showed you my whole mic collection. I got a bunch of those. But I'm showing you these for my content when I do live streams. I usually use this red one. Before I had this black one. Before I had this, I got this in December. I think early December, and I got this. And when I finally got it, that's when I had the Skeletor icon with the blue slash. Yeah, Elgato mic. Elgato's good. You talking about the Wave 3? That's a good one. My issue with that is the software mic. There's nothing wrong with it. It's actually solid. That's actually the best one for software. And another one is the Razer V2 Pro. I got that one as well. I got that one on the table. That one's good for recording. You just got to process and post. It's gone, Queena. Salute. It's just what it is, man. I got this microphone like 2 months ago. I got this last year. The knob on this thing is pretty good. This is good for recording as well. I use it a lot. I use it all in my content. That's my standard. The black one I got. The red one was for a while in the summer. If you heard me in August, I was using this microphone right here, the red one with the thread attachment. The thread attachment right here that comes with it. The stand is kind of weird, but it's a good stand. It's sturdy and everything. It's light, but you can also, that thread adapter that you see on it is going to my gator stand. So when I had that gator stand recently, I think I had that. Yeah, I had that last year. I had the gator stand last year. So I hooked this up on that stand that y'all see me cammed up and crazy with. I put it on this thread. This is a universal thread. It can go on anything. So it's a nice threading. That's the only thing I like about it. It's got all the attachments that I like, and that's it. But the black one's the same thing. It's kind of like you see in other threading on professional microphones and shit. You see that? That's a common thread. It's a good one too. I always like shock mounts to absorb the shock. If I had a desk, these will be the go-to. But I got other mics beside it. I got the handhelds. I'm looking for another handheld so I can get an interface. So I can work with it. Probably need 2 interfaces for each. Because the one I'm gonna have, I'm gonna get the pod track and then I'm gonna get another interface for stationary. I don't want no pro. Might get a mixer. I like the Mackie. That's a good one too. Might have to look into that. So see how that much costs. You use certain microphones and shit like that. If I get a studio, I only use particular microphones in my liking. But pre-records, I use the red one. So yeah. Yeah. But this right here, I've used this a lot on recording. I've used it on streams. That thing lasts me like those old streams y'all saw with me and Cerulean. I was talking into this normally with Dre with this threading. The threading already came with it. It's just I didn't have a stand at the time. Should have had the gator stand a long time. I should have ordered that back in July or some shit. Cause I didn't know it was that cheap. Once I had the microphone and this, I would have had the gator stand for a long time. That threading is something else. Yeah, it's my favorite. That's why I use these. I use these in my pre-records. That's why I get condensers. Yeah, they far more sturdy. Yeah, this is sturdy. It's got a good shock mount. It's a good build. I don't show this a lot on camera, but that's it. What's going on, Nadia? Yeah, that show was lit last night. It was a good build. She had her 8 hours. Shouts out to Advisor too. And shouts out to King, you know. He did a good job. It was a hell of a show. It was a hell of a show. King did his thing, and the other guy, Buddha, did his thing. It was a good build. I was bouncing around stream to stream, so yeah, man. Yeah, I showed y'all early in the stream, but yeah, that's your progression. I mean, if you get these type of microphones, if I talk about certain dudes, they look at this stream, these are good. You know, if you want something like a cooler microphone, you get these. But this handhelds, oh, not a problem, Nadia. But like I said, man, these are good. It's a 4-polar pattern microphone. It has its uses. Some people don't really care for this mic. A lot of people say it messes your voice. No, it doesn't. It's a pre-recorded microphone. A lot of people just don't like the mic. That's all it is. Not a problem. And it's what it is. Like when you look at these things right here, it's pretty simple. It's like easy and go. But the Yeti is different. You monitor your mic on that. It's a trick with that. It's the same as this. This is kind of similar, but it's not the same, really. Yeti don't have a shot mount. Yeti's like it's good for several reasons. I would say music, instrumental, and it's also good for pre-records that's classic. But all these mics that compete the Yeti, this beats the Yeti by a mile. This is number 2 on the list on 2022. I just saw that today. A recent clip of the top 5 USB mics. This is probably number 2. And the Rode NT1 is number 1. Elgato's like number 4. So it's in the top 5 because they try to say it's the best USB. Now, the best one for starting streams, podcasts, small things, and pre-record content, you get this. Or the Rode NT1. Rode NT1 is a little sturdy. It's sturdy. It comes with the shot mount, but it's got the monitoring and things like that. It turns the little thing off. Every microphone's got their own feature. I went from this from August, start of that, and then in December, I'll switch this back around. Put this over here for a minute. To this. This is what I use now. I use this black microphone from now on because I got this in December. This is an upgrade. Condenser, 4 polar patterns, right? Quadcast, right? HyperX to the Fifine K658. Reason I got this mic, I said, let me learn something about dynamics. Then I'm gonna learn about dynamics XLR. This is my first dynamic USB. This is my start. It's a dark microphone. There's a dark taste to it. I can tell it has that warmth sound. So I tested in monitoring and all that stuff. This is a good microphone too. And this costs on Amazon, it costs like $120, but it's like $119. The cost was $120. I paid like $123 with this through their company. And they appreciate me buying it from their company too. It was on sale for $60 one time in December around Christmas time. It did drop in their company, not on Amazon really. So it dropped on Amazon eventually, like the next 2 weeks. That was last year. So it does drop. The mic pros I'm holding right now, their price can drop. You can get them for pre-records. You can use them for anything. The mic I got in the hand right now, that's what I use. I use that during the week. And the ones I use on the weekend is Samsung. I use the ones that's like professional, semi-professional. I use the 9U. I used the Q2U yesterday because I was on the panel with the captain. I should have used the 9U, but I said, nah, it's one of those strings that, I could switch around. Because I thought they was going to come over. I was going to switch it. But the 9U, I'll use that next Sunday. So, got my little progression. So, yeah, I started out with that because I always like the gain knob control. It monitors the headphones, too. Low latency. as you can tell, I don't know if y'all can see, but that's the USB-C, and it's good on the USB-C. You got to plug it in right. But the headphone monitoring is right next to it. That's what it looks like. That's the bottom. I don't know if I can. Let's show you how this comes off. I don't want this to fall on me. That's the shop mount to go with it. And this the ring, you lock it in, right? So what I do is I put it back on. I screw this back on. You hear the sound? I'm screwing it back on. Hold on. Oh, shit. There we go. There we go. I want to do that. I'll tighten this thing up. There we go. I'm gonna leave it like this for now, but yeah, this thing right here on the bottom, if you see the ring or something like that, that comes off. That's how you tighten it. And it does have a adapter to this little yoke mount to attach to an arm. On the regular boot arms on the desk or the gator stand. Sometimes the gator stand with the telescope, you don't really need it because I got one. And then the one that likes the threading without the little bigger knob that looks like the drum bass, you can use that threading. I'll say about getting that arm too. Might use this, and I got a threading to go with it. So yeah, that's my standard mic. The Fifine. It's a K658. That's the most popular one. That's the dynamic version of that. They're trying to think about XLR on that one. I don't know about that. I don't think Fifine's into that. They got good condenser mics as well, but this is their first dynamic. It's made in China. Even though you can get it on the Amazon for like 120. A lot of people think there's other good microphones on. This is the best one, to be honest with you. I hate to say it. This is easy. You don't have to upgrade or nothing. It's got a little plosive problems, but outside of that, if you have good mic technique and turn your gain to like 60 clockwise or 50 clockwise or 70, you're good. Be like this. That's on the 70 clockwise. Then you turn it right here, the 65, 60, 50, and that's it. It's not a bad microphone. It's not a bad microphone. I use this a lot. And if you hear me on panels with this, you're hearing this microphone. It's got a dark, crisp voice. It's a dark microphone. But yeah, that's the one I always use, man. That was an upgrade. That's from December into now. That's what you're hearing me now. So I made a promise I was gonna do dynamic microphones on my content. Pre-records I use condenser. So I'm sticking with that. Panels, I'm gonna start using dynamics more, but I also use condenser on someone gets a channel, so I just go condenser. I switch back and forth with those. It's certain microphones I use when I get on panels. And turn this off and then step away. If a lot of people's using dynamic mics on panels, that's nice, and I use a condenser. I ain't found one with XLR. I like condensers on XLR because of the mixers and the sound effects and shit. That's the only thing I like about condensers. They have some uses like the Neumanns and shit like that. I've seen some Neumanns, German mics. They're good. There's a lot of good condensers out there to start up. Just keep them for pre-records. Have a quiet studio in the room. Get your shit right. But yeah, you'll see the red threading. I don't know if y'all can see the color. Let me take it off Naywire for a minute. That's what it looked like. It's red. That's the red color. And you see the threading, HyperX, and then you see the threading. This is universal. Go on any stand. Yeah, level of clarity, it stands out. But when you look at this right here, it's not a bad build. It's just when I saw this in August, and that was exciting me when I got this over at Kudas. He did a stream, but he took it down. Red, I think Sexy Red took it down too. It was 3 hours I was using this. Knowing her, she always takes shit down, whatever. This right here is what I use. I got the red one, but I got the threading right here. That's the thing right here. I don't normally talk about these on streams. This is an interesting blog stream. Instead of the nigga shit, I actually do content. And I'll show you, this is my content when I'm getting it. It's certain microphones, certain voice, all that, and certain gear. I'm working on the camera microphones too. So I can talk to y'all with a shotgun mic if I have a proper camera to talk to y'all. But this right here, that's what the threading's gonna be. Yeah, it's a red microphone. Let's see. I'll show you the black for a minute. And this is the black one. And see, it's a gold threading. See? That's the gold threading. You see the Fifine is right here. That's a dynamic. You talk on the top of this. The top of this right here is the threading. That's the top of that. That's the top. So you talk in the red one, it's got 4 polar patterns. You talk from the cardioid with the heart shape, the circles omnidirectional, that's all the way around the microphone. Right to left is the stereo. That's for like music and shit. Interviews is bidirectional, front to back. That's what it is. But yeah, enough of that. But this is what I use. This is what I use. If y'all hear me sounding crisp and dark, certain gain levels, and I'm talking to y'all this week, like I'm only talking about embracing being an independent thinking series, and also the stream with what you would call it? What's that stream? Communitarianism. If one of those streams, these streams, I'll be using this mic all times, Wednesday and Thursdays, every other Tuesday now because Drake's got the Monday streams. Like I was using this the whole time. Last month, from this month, I used this last year in December when I got it. So this is my fairly new mic. So I've always had it. I bought some more dynamics to even it out. And once I get my last dynamic, that'll be the Audio Technica A2R 2100X. That's my last one. That's it. And then my next condenser is going to be that Bumblebee. The Neat. I'm going to get that one too. Those are the 2 mics I really want. And then I got to work on the interface game. Get that down. I'm going to work on my shit on the channel. But if I work on the second channel, I only use certain microphones. But yeah, I'm just talking to you with these. This may not be a long stream, but you see what I'm talking about. But anytime y'all got questions about the HyperX or the Fifine, I can tell you, you can get these on Amazon. You can get this at Target. You can get this at Target, y'all. Target, same price, $139. You get a Super Target, same thing, $139. But if you see a sale and it drops to $80-something, you can get it. It's a good steal. When it drops to $88, $90, you got the cash. I recommend paying cash for this. You want to start up a stream or a small podcast individually, start with this mic with the condenser and have a nice background in the, the walls like you see on tech reviews. Now the black one's dynamic that I got right here. This is good when you don't have a sound treated. This is good. It does block noise. It's a regular cardioid. But if you have good headphone monitorings and noise cancellation or good studio and good sounding and good speakers, this is what you want. You don't hear a lot of background noise with this. This helped me a lot with my content, so I stuck with dynamic route. It's a dynamic USB as well, and it's also the best one by far. It's a lot of good ones. There's another one that's good too. Looks like the 7B. It's called the Beacon, and that's $280. That costs $280. It's cheaper than the 7B. It's the $280, but then they got the universal one. That's XLR. I saw that, the universal A, and it tries to be like the 7B as well. So you got a lot of knockoffs, lookalikes, but they ain't really knockoffs. But that USB Beacon, this got his own mixer. It's expensive. It's up there. So this is probably number 2 behind the Beacon. So the Beacon is good for $280. This is $120. It's $119 in cost for the $120. You know why? Because this is also good as well. It has RGB lighting. You turn it off. When you see it on the back of this, you see the RGB lighting, the little glow right here. Like if you actually research the Fifine K658, you'll see that. You can turn the light off from the back. Like when you see the circle right here, you can turn that off the back. Let's go on past the salute. And you'll understand. You can turn that off. The mute button, when you see it red, it turns green. This microphone, you'll see that. There's reviews on YouTube. Just type in Fifine K658, and then you have this right here. So when you have this right here, you have that little microphone right there. So that's what you see. So that's the thing right here. But this right here, I like this one. It's thin on my voice. It's a little bright. Most people say it's muddy, but I have a bright and dark voice. My voice is a little bright every now and then when I get excited. I have a bright, heavy voice. I have a rough sound, and I fit well with this microphone right here. They say he sounds clear. When Ty C said he sounds clear, well, I'm using the HyperX. When I was on panels with Third Ward and the For the Record TV, I was using this on purpose. I was using my stand. So I have different microphones. Like, don't. Y'all can't mess with me on that. I got that settled. But most of the people in these spheres and other sectors don't use microphones. The whole black sector use microphones. Quiet is kept. In other sectors, the white sectors and everybody else use microphones. YouTubers that are decent and got good quality content, they use mics. But your typical so-called black manosphere do not use microphones. They use headsets and AirPods. I'm sorry, most of them use cell phones. I don't care what nobody says, and that's why Kuda is correct. You know why? They're niggas. Niggas gonna be niggas. And niggas is what? Average listeners of YouTube. That's YouTube. He has to get over that. The guys that does tech reviews, I'm gonna tell you something. They always going to listen to people with mics, and sometimes they just don't care. They don't even do content. And I definitely going to say is they don't really care about doing YouTube like that. So those people you're listening to, they don't do content like we do. They don't take this shit seriously. I took the streaming part seriously. Pre-record is serious too. It takes work and post and editing. Editing is cool. But if you edit with microphones, that's a step up to your content. That's called progression. See, back in my day, I didn't have these. I should have. I'll say like 2011 with the Yeti. Could have did something like that. And did tech reviews and get free mics. I'll be head of the game. But the problem with that is I think people don't have microphones like these as startups. See, when the pandemic came, this is pandemic time. 2 years ago, I should have had this microphone. This came out 2019. This mic came out 2019 and became one of the best USB mics in, I would say, 2 years. In 2 years, this is the best microphone. Next year will be still to be the best. Why? It's going to stand the test of time. They're going to make a microphone that's going to be better than these. If I see another good microphone for this company from Kingston, HyperX, Quadcast, or HyperX company, I'm going to pick one up. It's reasonable. And the reason I'm saying that is it's a good quality microphone. I like other brands, don't get me wrong. I like Razer. If you have a Windows computer, you can tweak the sounds. And I had a Siren Mini. I showed that one time on the stream last year, my progression. This is kind of like part 2 of that. So, yeah, if you hear me sounding crisp and dark, it's this microphone right here you hear on a stand. And the reason I'm using this mic, it's an actually good quality microphone for a USB. But XLRs, there's a lot of good XLR dynamic mics, don't get me wrong. I'm not denouncing that. But this right here is what I use. I just want something simple. I ain't trying to do the music thing. I'm just trying to get my content and get this mic and just get out of there. I'm in and out. Especially with 3 hours, 1 to 3 hours or 4 hours, I use this on a live stream. This thing takes a lot of pounding and it works. I've coasted. Hell, I coasted 6 or 7, 8 hours with this mic. The one that got me famous with the Sunday Madness number 2 was that Yeti Pro. Yeah. Yeah, man. Are they ready for LeBron? Who cares? But like I said, yeah, clarity's king, something worth earning. Yeah. I had to make an upgrade decision. Because around last year, semi-pandemic, we were getting out of it. I used this microphone. Should have had this 2 years ago. I got this last year. And I realized how good it was. I said, you know what? I was learning about microphones and stuff. Yeah, I had a USB, but I was learning XLRs, interfaces, head monitoring. It's more to it. Should have invested in that years ago. I knew about them, but I didn't know it was so much work into them when you do content. I see what they was doing. They use those fancy microphones to try to have their radio station. But podcasting don't really mean much when you have a mic. You got to have a message and things like that. Mics is just an instrument. A lot of people say these are important. No, these are instruments. That's what makes you get your foot in the door. So, again, when you have these mics, they're good for your content. I don't know what else, but they got some that are compatible with cell phones. If you get that adapter, I got an Android though, so I got to see what my handhelds, because I got the USB-A cording. I got to see what works. Does it fit or anything? You know, I'm just saying. And you gotta have to, man. I love talking about these because I don't talk about this enough. This is another side of me where I talk about. I do talk about tech a little bit. I don't go into it that much. I listen to different people. The guys I'm subscribed to is Dark Corner Studios. He's a good one. He talks about the wear and tear of certain microphones, cameras, and gear, interfaces, even cables. And another one I'm subscribed to recently, Audio Haze, is another one. Difference of microphones. And then finally subscribed Banjo. I subscribed his second channel for a while, but I subscribed his main channel. I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to subscribe to him anyway. He's got some good stuff. It makes sense to subscribe to him. Because he talks about, he does all the sound tests and everything. I should have subscribed to Chris Judd. He's another one. He deals with the professional side of it. Booth Junkies is another one. Mike Delgadio, he's another one. It's a lot of good reviewers out there. It's so many. Alpha Gaming, he's another one. And I was watching Frank, random Frank P. He actually turned me on to this mic. The white guy, the first reviewer of this mic, said it was decent. And then when I saw the criticism of this mic, I was listening to Alpha Gaming. He got me on to the Razer Mini. Alpha Gaming is another one. And the Nano too. Eventually, I got the Yeti Pro for myself. I was looking at tons of reviews of that mic. That's what put me over to the top on Sunday Madness. That second one. Through the madness. Hell, I use that microphone like it ain't nothing. I don't use it like that no more. I use it in pre-records and posts. I'm gonna start using it though. I'm gonna have to start using it in certain situations, but it's got an XLR port. I'm gonna try it with a different interface. I'm gonna see what that's like. I'll see some reviews on it. All right, appreciate you, Queena. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm just talking about my little progression that I made content-wise. As you can tell, you see the polar patterns I just mentioned earlier. It's not much to it. I mean, I have it on cardioid. Let's say if some niggas want to be wild and loud on YouTube and be on panels, here's a circle one. Omnidirectional. See, omni is around. It's around the microphone. It's around. Here's everything. Kind of like what you see in lavalier mics. But if it's a dynamic omnidirectional, it blocks the background sound a little bit, but you hear a little bit, but you don't hear a damn thing. But you get, they can hear you, but you don't hear them. Dynamic blocks sound. It's just focus driven, but if it's omni, that's a typical, dynamic feature. It rejects a lot of noise. It has its own noise rejection. All of them ain't the same though, but condenser and omni don't work. See, omni, that's audience. That's people. That's like meeting rooms and stuff. When you see this right here that I just switched on the side, that's a stereo. That's music. Guitars, drums, all that. Vocals. I went back to a lot of people say it's a butt shape. It's actually a heart shape. That's a cardioid pickup pad. That's just standard talking to the microphone. And the 8, if you see the figure 8, you can talk from the back and the front. You can interview and put this mic between you and that person. Yeah, that works. Or if you set it on that, talking on a live stream, you're gonna hear them from back here. They're gonna talk through that. I don't know how that works. So it's very interesting. Very interesting. But that was one of our standards for a while until December. So yeah, man. Yeah, we was talking about finance last night. Dude's on it. He's fucking on it. 2 truckers we talking in the back chat. Yeah, them niggas is To my maximum something. Yeah, that dude's a whole simp. But the other one be tricking for Irene Levette. You already know who I'm talking about. 3 syllables. His ass. Another dude I cannot stand. There's some good truckers in the sphere, like in that sector. His audience, he got the good ones. But they listen to his ass like he's something. Nah, he makes them all look bad. Shouts out to King. King is the real one. He's consistent. He looks presentable. He trying to get out the fucking game. I don't blame him. That shit is daunting. It's good money, but it's daunting. I wouldn't even look at it as a career like that. That's just a small career you did. He's making 6 figures on that. There's plenty of ways to make 6 figures. He'll be okay. King will be okay. He's the type of guy that has his head on straight. He's one of them dudes that's gonna be all right. He's gonna make it. He knows how to adapt. He's challenging the environment. That's why I have no issue with people like that. I couldn't argue with the guy. Nah, you got it. I just want to listen to the politics aspect of it. I said, he was talking about money and that. Yeah, it's my shit. That's why I had to hop on the pedal. I said, you know what? So I let Dre rock the whole time. I came up there. I said, you know what? This is my first time up. Let me start. Yeah, because I normally don't do it, but I had to. So I had to return the favor. So it was a dope stream anyway. Yeah, it's a good conversation. Yeah, we definitely do it again. I was listening to chat. Oh, I was listening to old boys saying some silly stuff. When I did that yawn in the eyes, that was from earlier. Now you're trying to say, "What are you doing?" I said, "Don't mind me." I was laughing at Buddha. He was saying something silly in his diatribe for a minute. I said I didn't agree with. I was fucking with. He didn't look at the chat. He was smart. He's smart. He's like, who this nigga talking to? You know how people are when they look in the chat, but he's smart. See, chat room is belligerent. Can't look at the chat. Trolls want your attention. But boy, y'all gonna enjoy the advisor shit. I'm gonna add some niggas out with these screenshots. I can't wait. Not using these mics though. I'm gonna use a different one. I'm gonna use my handheld. But you'll hear me tomorrow with this. I'm gonna go back to my content. I'm gonna talk about being independent fake. I'm gonna use this mic and use it from Thursday. It leads to generational wealth. Those men, nothing to play with when they come to the business. Exactly, it's very true. It's a risk, but that's a good job to have. You get to travel and all that stuff. That's the only thing. I think fasting does that as well. He got its own shit. Yeah, that's a good circle to have, Nadia. Hell, you're gonna be all right. See this shit right here? Want to start a podcast, talk about real things? Go for it. I had to pick mics that suits me. But the XLR ones, they good too. But after these next upgrades of the mics, I'm done. I'm just gonna stick with interfaces from now on and test them out and record it. These are just, you get on the stream, pop it in, and you go. You're on your way. If you want to start out with these, and then learn something about XLR, and you'll be good. And I say it like this: if people want to start, you don't have a microphone. I told you the prices to look for. I'll drop them in the chat. They're reasonable. It's just a lot of people don't use these mics very well. So that's it. cut this off my arm. And could ask me where I've been. I told him, nigga, I've been busy. Yeah. I can't be talking about no fucking third shift all day. Got a bunch of hoe ass niggas in your chat room that don't fuck with. Fuck them niggas. It is what it is. You gotta do content, bro. That's a PPT trap. I'm not buying into that shit. Niggas always crying, man. Be your damn content and you be alright. Stop worrying about that propaganda shit. That Mansfield shit is dead, bro. You gotta talk about something else. Can't hate on women all day. That's not natural. It's not masculine, bro. I just laugh at these dudes. I said, Dre, I ain't even part of that shit. That shit's dead. Since they did that stupid ass meetup and that bullshit, and we told them about that sting op getting snatched. I'm sick of this shit, man. Yeah, I am so tired of listening to that shit. Game ain't got nothing to do with it. That's just an excuse. I just can't do no content. See, motherfuckers don't want to talk about these. That's tech. I talk about tech. I stay on it. Like, a lot of people just don't want to deal with microphones. They say, you gotta have a mic. No, motherfucker, you just don't know how to do content. Fuck them niggas, man. Yeah, most people just don't want to grow. That's why I'll take it seriously, though. And another person got a shear mic. This AM1. He got the MV7. I like that particular microphone. Only problem is plosives. It's the only problem with that. And it's a bad mic. It's faulty too. But they got the one with the X. I want the X Live version of that one. I really do not want the USB one. If I go interface on that, I get that particular mic. Yes. But the one I really want is the PreSonus PD70. That's the one I want. I want that one. It's got a good mic arm. It's got the a threading. You can talk into that shit. Yeah, man. I got a lot of stories one time with this mic right here before I upgraded to a dynamic. This microphone right here got me into some hell mid days of those long streams. Yeah, it does. Yeah, I try to be different, man. But anyways, with this mic, got me through hell and water last year. Long live streams with Dre. This microphone. I'm telling you, yeah, I use Yetis in between those other streams with him. This right here, yeah, a lot of stories. The Dark History streams, I was using this. All those Dark History live streams, I was using the Quadcast. Not gonna lie, I was using the Quadcast. Good content. I was using that Quadcast like it ain't nothing. Once I had that mic, that took a whole nother level. So I got different microphones. So it's a light flex. But you know, a lot of people, unlike I try to tell this one person, you can't be beefing on panels and you be on a cell phone. Get you this to shut me up. Do some content, bro, but they can't. They can't. Can't. And by the way, on Gino's stream, he did for 5 hours. I was using this. I was using this. When I was talking to Jay Shine, if y'all watch Gino's stream, I was using this. Quad scale, I was using this. I was using that. Yesterday I was using the Samsung. Why is this cap? I use that. And it's just it's a solid microphone and it does what it does, man. Let's get my mind right. So yeah, man. I had it. Yeah, but that's enough of y'all with the tech talk. So yeah, I have these mics on the side of my arms. But yeah, man, that's what I use. It was just something. So with that said, I'm gonna sign off, and I know it's like 10:32. Yeah. So with that, because I know people don't like the tech talk, so I know it is. Appreciate everybody came through. Booker Ronan, Nadia, sincerely yours herself. Queen, appreciate you. Pastor, who else came through? Basically it. Basically it. Shouts out to everybody, man. But I'll be back. But check us out tonight at the Advisors. The Advisors Thoughts of Petty. I know y'all gonna be pissed at Sir of Grayskull. I don't give a shit. So that I'm gonna say, oh hell, Grayskull, and I'm out.